Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a nice little project on our hands. I posted some videos of this car a couple days back and realized that all you guys really miss this car. I miss it too. The reason I have not been driving it, we have a twin disc in this car currently, an XCD twin disc, and it started slipping on us. And now it's to the point where we can't even hardly drive this thing. It slips that bad. So today's project is swapping out to a brand new ACT Mod 225 XT clutch. We currently have this clutch in 4 different builds, and it has been nothing short of amazing in every single one of the cars. Very excited to get this thing swapped out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pop the trans out of this 10. I don't like pulling transmissions out of Evos. It is not fun whatsoever. I would prefer to pull the whole drivetrain out at once. As you guys know, engine, trans, transfer, subframe, all that comes out together. But on just a clutch swap and nothing else, it's a little bit pointless to pull everything out. I do have some other nice plans for this thing as soon as it's back on the road, which I'm very excited for. We're gonna change it up a little bit, but let's go ahead and start pulling some things off. So up top, to get the transmission out, we need to pull the whole intake system off. Thankfully, this car has the ETS kit. Any sort of top mount kit is ideal for pulling the trans, just because to get to the 3 bolts on top for where the T-case bolts to the transmission is so much easier with a top mount turbo kit. So as soon as we get the intake off, we have some shifter linkage, we have the clutch slave, a little bit of wiring, and then we can get it up in the air and pull off some axles. So we have been on the throwout bearing clip for probably an hour now, and it will not unclip. Usually if it doesn't unclip within the first few tries, it ain't ever coming off. So basically what you have to do is you go through this window on the trans right here, and you take out all of the pressure plate bolts, and then you deal with the throwout bearing clip once you get the trans out of the car. So that's what unfortunately we're gonna have to do in this situation. The last like 10 I've done, they've popped off easy, but this one is just being a pain, and it will not come off. It won't budge, it won't move. It's almost like it seized on there. So kind of sucks, but let's go ahead and unbolt the pressure plate and we can get the trans out. Finally got all of the clutch pressure plate bolts out. So now we are ready to start pulling out some transfer case and bell housing hardware. So underneath the car, we have 2 for the starter, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, 3 for the T-case. And then behind the T-case, there is one more pretty much hidden bell housing bolt that's really hard to get to, but it's gotta come out. Hello. Good. All of the T-case and bell housing hardware is now removed. All we have left is the trans mount back there, mount here. I do prefer to drop the subframe down a little bit. So we're gonna loosen up the passenger side and pull the driver's side bolts all the way out. And it'll give us about an extra 3 to 4 inches to pull the trans out and put it back in. Much easier that way. I do have this trans jack over here, but believe it or not, I find it easier to not even use it. I just like to let it fall onto the ground, only a couple inches, of course, 2-3 inches max. It'll drop down, and then going back in, I just use a floor jack. All right, we got the transmission out. We still have to deal with getting the pressure plate off of the throwout bearing, but it's usually quite a bit easier when the trans is out of the car. So we got that, and then we just gotta pop the flywheel off the crank and we can start getting this thing reassembled. This clutch is pretty shot. I was honestly expecting quite a bit worse, but you know, this car does make 700 wheel, so any sort of carnage on the clutch is gonna equal some slippage. Definitely could be rebuilt, but I got a new one. flywheel is on and torqued to 96 foot-pounds, and then the clutch pressure plate to a final of 26 foot-pounds. I did Loctite, red Loctite, both flywheel and clutch, because I do not like when those back out. I am gonna try to do this the right way and throw the trans on the tall trans jack with the car up in the air. I know that's how it should be done. That's how a professional would do it. I'm no professional, so that's how I don't do it, but I'm gonna try to be a professional and do it the professional way. So after the trans goes on the engine and then the T-case goes on the trans, the very next thing I always do while the subframe is still loose, you see that rear mount back there? I always jack the trans up and get that rear mount on. That thing is a pain to get on when everything is tight if you try to do that last. So go ahead and knock that out. The rest is a breeze. Just got that bolt through. From here we have axles, intake, some fluids, and this thing is ready for a first start. Also, we should probably make sure this works. Good old red line cocktail going in the trans, as always, for a 10. And then the T-case gets the factory 90 weight gear oil. All right, this car is all finished up. Let's fire the old girl up and see how this clutch feels. I am excited. Ooh, it's been a long time, my friends. I'm always so amazed at how freaking nice the ACT twins feel. So soft, buttery soft. It's insane. All right, first time lighting out the clutch. OEM plus. Insane. right, boys, I am taking the 10 home for the first time in a long time. I'm so excited I cannot talk. And we can go on a nice little cruise tomorrow and see how this thing feels. You guys wonder why I don't drive my all-wheel drive cars in the winter? This is why. The billions of dollars I pay in taxes, it seems like every year, still doesn't get the roads plowed anywhere near where I live. That's why. That's why I got a truck. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. We're going on a cruise right now on the 10. If I can make it out to a road with no snow on it, we can really do some nice testing and see how she feels. I already know how it feels because I drove home last night. So this is not actually the same clutch that I run in all the other cars. This is a step up. So all the other clutches I've been putting in other cars, those are rated for 700 foot-pounds, which is a lot of torque. This one's rated at 875, so I usually run the T1S model. This is the T2S, and like I said, 875 foot-pounds of torque. I figured it'd be a little bit stiffer, and I don't think it is. I don't think it's any stiffer than the other clutches. It doesn't drive any different from what I can tell. It is a little bit more expensive, of course, with the higher torque rating, but it still has that insane OEM plus feel is what I like to call it. If you guys ever see me out and about in one of the cars with a twin, feel free to step in and feel it, because I'm not lying when I say it feels like a stock clutch. Other than losing both inner front fenders, the first drive on the new clutch was a great success. I absolutely love how they feel, and every fast car from here on out, here until the end of time, will be getting one of these twins. If you guys want to pick one up, I'll link this exact clutch down in the description box below. Like I said earlier, this is the T2S 875 foot-pound rated. I should probably also let you guys know we are only a few days out from the next Austin Apparel drop, which includes a very, very, very nice winter jacket, 3 t-shirts, 3 hoodies. One of the t-shirts and one of the hoodies is the infamous Fuck Takeovers variant, which is one of my favorite designs ever because, of course, myself and a lot of you guys are not a big fan of the takeovers that have been happening. That drop is in just a few days, so be on the lookout for the exact date and time. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Peace out, my friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one.